And welcome to this short series all about beavers, where you get to find out about these creative ecosystem engineers and what it means now that they're being reintroduced across Britain. My name is Megan McCubbin and I'm a naturalist and presenter and also ambassador for the Beaver Trust. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this episode, but remember to watch out for all the others that are coming out too, because you can find out more about beaver biology, beaver ecosystems, their dams and how they build them, as well as a bit of climate resilience too. This episode is all about living with beavers.
So the Beaver project, the enclosure we're standing in at the moment, is all part of a natural flood management project that we did in 2019 to try and reduce flooding to our local village. So what we're doing here is we're standing in one side of it. So this is where we used the beavers as at that point it was a very experimental approach. And then on the other side of the estate, in the main river that runs through, we put 8 leaky dams. So timber structures that we built to try and slow the flow. And it's been fascinating, because we've been lucky enough to have research partnerships with King's College London, and they have shown us that the two systems work completely differently. So what we've ended up with on the leaky dam side of things is we've basically got the same river we started with some piles of timber in it. But here we now have over 2.5 million litres of water, and we have water all year round, which we didn't have before. So this has now become a resource. We're standing here in the sort of summer months, and everywhere around us is dry, and we're not. So we've got a resource impact which we weren't expecting, as well as a flood risk impact, which we think we've got. And then we've also got a water quality impact, because we've measured the water quality coming out of the end of the beaver enclosure is cleaner than it comes in. So for us, the beavers are a tool to deliver something else. So they are basically me being lazy and going, well, there's something out there that will do a better job with me not having to pay them, feed them, or tell them what to do. Ideal, just let them get on with it. I think the real challenge that we still face is, how do you make this pay? Because it's fantastic, and we all realise it's fantastic, but the things it's doing don't generate any revenue. But from a land management perspective, it's about identifying what the benefits are and what the positives are, and trying to fit that into whatever your system is, and this works for us.
We've been working on this site for a long time. It's been a national nature reserve for more than 40 years. But even though it's a national nature reserve, it can still be better. There's still more things that we can do to improve it for nature, to restore nature here. One of the things that it would be really obvious is to obviously have something that is a natural living creature that's able to do a lot of those things for us in a way that we could never properly replicate. We wanted to be a place where beavers could come and live on an NNR, because if not here, then where could they go? The day of the release for me was a whirlwind of pretty stressful stuff. And then, yes, seeing them all coming out of their cages and their kind of different personalities, then just feeling the relief of the project. Well, having done what we'd said that we wanted to do and what we had been putting so much energy into for about 6 or 7 months. And I think one of the things we really wanted to achieve with this project was to show it was possible and to show it was achievable. I think there are still barriers to overcome. I think it's still a lot of work for some landowners to be expected to do to be able to fulfil the criteria that are set out for translocations. But I think it will become easier the more it happens. Nature reserves are about nature restoration, and beavers are a vector for that. They can really make a huge difference to the nature and climate crisis, and so people should really be considering if that's something that they can have on their site.